real estate agents often talking about value. That is the word, that is where your money is. What is your value? Well, we're going to be talking to Rebecca Fillion today, and we're going to be talking about how you can up your services and create more value, more convenience for your clients, and earn the commissions that you want. Rebecca, welcome
Hey,
to the show.
thank you for having me.
Now, Rebecca, before we get into exactly what you do, I do want to let people know we are going to talk about how you got into this business, what it's like starting a brand new concept, and the fun, the struggles, the ins and outs of what it's like being an entrepreneur. Back to the first thing. What do you do, Rebecca?
Hi, I'm Rebecca Fillion. I own Fillion Notary. It is a mobile notary business, so I essentially can travel to you or your family members, and it's super convenient. I notarize your documents right in your home. It takes me 10 to 15 minutes on just, a normal transaction, 1 to 2 signatures.
All right. So from a real estate agent's point of view,
Yes.
we're often asked who has a notary. Well, now we have one.
Yeah,
One of the things
absolutely.
that what's that?
I said, yeah, absolutely.
One of the things that I like most and what attracted me to have you ask you onto the show is your mobility and your sole focus on serving the client where they are.
Yeah.
So how can a real estate agent best utilize your services?
So I have a really easy booking system. You can go right on my website, fillionnotary.com, and essentially I can help with loan signings for people with busy schedules or those people who can't easily make it out of their homes. Maybe they have mobility issues, the elderly, whether they're selling their home, maybe a mortgage refinance, or they're buying their home. I can go straight to them, get their documents signed. I can print the documents for them and deliver it right back to the law firm if it's local, or ship the documents back out to a law firm, escrow company, title company if it is out of county or out of state.
Now, in my experience, and that's quite a list of things you can do, by the way. In
Yeah.
my experience, I've never had to, except for the one-off where somebody needs something signed, where, prior to closing, I typically did not get involved with the closing process. How does a real estate agent, and why would they want to insert you into that process when it's typically the lender or the attorney that typically takes care of all that and we don't even get involved in?
Well, I think that it's important that, a real estate agent, they guide their home buyer or their seller through the whole process, and they're going to want to guide them from beginning to end. I think if you think outside of the box where you're traditionally using an attorney, your client goes into their office and they sign the documents there. That's great. But they also, like, if they have a busy schedule or if it's inconvenient to go and do that, you can have someone come right to them. My services are more higher end. So I go above and beyond to make sure everybody is comfortable and happy at the signing table. And a lot of people really like the convenience of someone coming to them. They don't even have to leave their home, especially the millennial and Gen Z, generations.
So for all these people that are working from home, do a closing over their lunch hour and not have to leave the
Yeah,
house.
exactly. So it's around their schedule. And that's why it's so convenient. And you can plug me in wherever you need me. And I also have, document courier services to deliver those documents right back to wherever they need to go afterward. Because, when you're buying property, you need those documents returned same day. So,
How would you see an agent working you into the attorney's process? How does that work?
well, they could introduce me to their attorney. And then once me and the attorney chat about the details, they can send me the documents. I can print those documents, get their clients taken care of with the notarization process, and then send the documents right back to the attorney's office. So I actually work with a lot of attorneys and they just integrate me right into their workflow.
It sounds expensive.
I with my rates.
And it's well worth it, correct? Yeah. So for agents who, there are a lot of agents that work with the senior markets who I'm sure have situations where they need a notary, they can't get around. And then there are the agents on the other extreme where they have somebody that's so mobile, they're hard to tie down because they're so busy. You can go wherever they're needed, wherever they are, and meet them there.
Yeah, this is perfect for me because I can go to a hospital an assisted living facility, which I have facilitated mortgage refinances and seller packages at both. You just never know where life's going to take you. I can also, if there's like a split package, I can go to the husband and the wife. Let's say the husband's at work and the wife is at home. So you can utilize me in a lot of ways while thinking traditionally outside of the box.
That's great. What
Yeah.
areas do you cover?
I cover Wake, Durham, and Chatham County, but I also travel really far. Like I just completed 2 estate plans in Franklin County, so I'll travel farther upon request.
Okay, that's fantastic. So super unique. Again, I 20 plus years in this business. Haven't come across anybody like you. You're special. How did this come about?
It's actually really funny because loan signing has been really oversaturated since COVID. I was working at a bank. I felt super unfulfilled with the 9 to 5 corporate grind, and I really was looking for something I can do for myself. I tried a few freelancing things that didn't turn out great for me, but I was doom scrolling TikTok and I came across loan signing with this really popular course. And so I felt like I had the prior knowledge in the mortgage industry as a post closer where I audited closed loan packages for discrepancies and errors, that this would be a great way to take my skill set and apply it to something that I can do. And so I researched how to become a notary. I became a notary in North Carolina and I was really scared. I mean, I started in March of 2023. I didn't take my first appointment or my first networking event until August of 2023, but it's all about overcoming your fears, which is really exciting about growing a business.
Well, that's quite a gap between March and August. What was going on in that time frame? What were you
I
doing?
was still working for the bank, my lender, and it was going to be a conflict of interest for me to be a loan signing agent and be a post closer because, anyway, those kind of nuances. And so in June of 2023 is when I ended up getting laid off, but it was a blessing because I got my 401k, I got a severance package. And so it helped me kind of float myself into like creating my business and getting it all set up. But yeah,
So what was the fear? What was your biggest fear? You mentioned,
at the time I worked remote. I had 2 very small children. My daughter was only 1, my son was 4. And I had spent 3 years in a pandemic working remote with 2 small children, thinking, the world was ending. And not really that, but you know what I mean? Like it was a chaotic time.
we all
So
felt
I
that,
was
yeah.
just really scared of putting myself out there. I was going to be traveling to strangers' homes. So that sounded weird to me. I was really into true crime podcasts. And so I was thinking I was going to get murdered. So that was a fear. And I just really had to overcome a lot. I was super introverted from being isolated from the world. And so just stepping out of that comfort zone felt so weird and foreign, but I'm so glad I did. I'm better off for it.
Yeah. So how'd you overcome that? Going to that first networking event, what got you brave enough and how'd you overcome that?
I really wanted this business to work. I started doing social media, but I didn't have anybody I knew here. I was new from Michigan. I had been living here for 3 years, but I mean, I didn't meet anybody yet. Very introverted, like I said, so I was just always home. And it's hard to meet friends as an adult in her 30s. So I was just trying to search for friends and stuff. So I knew I had to get my butt out there and meet people in order to start generating business. And so I took a deep breath. I put on my big girl pants and I walked into a Rockstar Connect was my first networking group that I went to. And it was great. I got a beer. I started kind of getting more comfortable in the room as that beer went down. And then, I am such a chatty Cathy. I can literally yap all day. And so it was just perfect.
That's great.
Yeah.
And you've gotten since then, that was August of 2023. What has your growth been personally since then?
I am on a spiritual journey with my growth. I've been able to connect with myself a lot more. I've been prioritizing self-love and going to the gym and building up my mental stamina with journaling and stuff because I just feel like in order to get where I really want to go, which is CEO level big business owner, where I can step away from my business and still generate income and have passive income as well, I need to overcome a lot of obstacles. And sometimes I stand in my own way. And so overcoming that is what's really important for me to continue to pour into myself.
Outstanding. And where are you getting this wisdom?
I'm trying to read 1 book a month. And I don't know, like TikTok, I'm on spiritual TikTok. I'm always like looking through there. I'm really into ChatGPT and just talking about spirituality. I grew up in a Christian atmosphere, but it was like really strict Christian. So it drew me away from religion. But now I'm kind of just finding God in my own way, which is really enlightening.
That's great. Good for
Yeah.
you. And talk about journaling. So many people attempt to do journaling. Some do it very successfully. It's a hard habit to start. How did you get into it? And what is it that you put on the paper that is giving back to you?
I feel like when you start to write, you're physically using a pen to write out your intention. And so for me, intention is really important. I use the word manifesting, but manifestation prayer. It's putting your feelings out into the world. And if you go with a good heart, I feel like you're going to get 10 times back. And so I really like to pour out my thoughts as well. I'm an overthinker and I have anxiety issues, and I can have a negative mindset. So journaling has really helped me shift my mindset, change those narratives that I'm telling myself, which aren't true, and just trying to kind of overcome that side of my brain.
That's
But yeah,
great.
like journaling comes easy. I really like it. It's just a way to get all of my thoughts out on paper.
And how much time do you spend on it a day?
It just depends. Sometimes 0 time, I don't get to it. Sometimes 5 minutes. Sometimes I'll get obsessed over what I'm doing and I'll spend an hour doing it. And so those are the days that really feel productive with my journaling. Yeah.
That's fantastic. So you're humming along, you get this power in the morning, positive attitude. Inevitably, some days you're going to get hit in the face with a rock, basically. How do you turn yourself around from that?
So, as an entrepreneur, you definitely have ups and downs, but realizing you're going to have the downs, it's like a pendulum swing, right? It goes from one side to the other. So, if you swing hard as a big win, you're going to come and swing hard over on the other side. And so, you're going to have to expect that and learn from it. But I don't beat myself up. I give myself grace. I let myself have a rest day where, I can just bed rot and watch Netflix or play Fortnite or something. But like, just keep moving on, keep feeling your why, keep putting out positive energy into the universe, and you'll get through it.
Fantastic. It sounds like you've been at this for many, many years.
I've been at this for 2 years and I feel like an old lady.
Yeah. No, that's fantastic wisdom for just 2 years in this business. There are full industries, many, many industries, multi-million, $1 billion being spent on what you're talking about right now, and you boil it down to make it seem so simple.
It's
It
not.
really is, isn't it?
Yeah. The
It's
act
not
of what
easy.
you do is simple, but like processing it, what's in your heart, what's in your mind, that's the hard part. But with community, with support, you can get through it.
Let's talk about community. You were saying that you locked down for 3 years, didn't really know anybody, just moved here. What is your community like that's keeping you afloat?
My community is amazing. It's a small business community. And it's like everybody that's in it, they understand the struggles of what it's like to be either an entrepreneur or just out there hustling day to day, trying to survive, feed their family. And so I really love that. And so for me, I like to proposition myself as a connector where I'm helping people meet each other to where they can, collaborate with their business. I get that in return as well. So it's like we're all helping each other out and it's really empowering. I love it.
That's great. Yeah, it's interesting. Once you start talking to people that are in the same shoes, that have started their business, there's certainly some rock stars that you'll never even think that they had some ups and downs and had some struggles going through it. But most have.
Mhm.
Most have gone through some kind of period of doubt, just yeah, or just kind of lost and feeling the pressure. So
Imposter syndrome, it really flares up all the time and you have to keep it in check.
yeah, absolutely.
Mm.
Absolutely. Well, this has been fantastic, Rebecca. I really appreciate you coming on. I'd like to wrap this with you one more time, going over how real estate agents can get in touch with you, how best they can and work you into their marketing so that they can amp up their service and their value.
Sure. My name is Rebecca Fillion, and I'm a mobile notary for Fillion Notary. You can always reach me on my website, fillionnotary.com, or you can reach out to me, either call or text 919-335-3598. I do a lot in this community. I love giving back to the community and going above and beyond to take care of people. And that's what you get at the signing table. You get someone who will work with you and what you want in your business and then be, an extension of you and represent, just have that above and beyond spirit at the signing table with your clients. So if you want to chat, please reach out to me. I'd love to talk.
And not only about the notary business, I'm sure you'd love to talk about being an entrepreneur and building that network even further.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm always open
Okay,
to networking.
awesome. Thanks so much, Rebecca. It's fantastic you having on.
Thank you.
And if you're liking the show, please subscribe, keep watching. We'll keep bringing phenomenal people to you every week. Take care.